Hi, Book 2. Welcome to Jackie's Literary Corner. I am Jackie, and I literally just finished this book this morning, as in just a few minutes ago. And this is the third book in the Temeraire series, and I'm really enjoying the series. I was also finally decided to read this book because of the Owls Readathon. I chose to be a Magi zoologist, and decided to take the dragon training seminar. So, of course, they want you to read a dragon book. And in this one, Lawrence and Temeraire are trying to leave. It starts out with them trying to leave China, but it's a bit of a struggle. And while they're still there, they receive a missive saying that they need to go to Istanbul because there are 3 dragon eggs. But when they finally go, they are met with a bit of a struggle there as well, because the Sultan's representative is being a little evasive and trying to distract Lawrence every time he brings up the dragon eggs. And they come to realize that they might not be willing to give up the 3 dragon eggs. And Lawrence and Temeraire have to decide how they're going to handle this. If they need to continue to try to persuade them, are they going to just give up, or might they have to steal the dragon eggs? And then eventually Lawrence and Temeraire and the rest of his team end up going to Prussia to help the Prussians fight the French army, Napoleon's army. The problem is also that they run into an old friend from China there, and that's not good. So what I love about this series is, apart from the obvious relationship between Lawrence and Temeraire, we also get so far we've gotten a lot of different cultures and in different countries, and each country treats the dragons differently. Like in China, the dragons are worshipped and respected and admired, and they're given independence, which unfortunately conflicts with Lawrence and Temeraire's relationship, because Temeraire wants this independence and freedom and likes how the dragons are treated. And there's a couple times where he expresses the desire to go back to China, or that he misses going back to China. But he also cares about Lawrence and respects him, and Lawrence does not treat Temeraire badly. And Lawrence cares about Temeraire's happiness. So it's a bit, it kind of comes between them a little bit. And it's still a little bit there in this one, but what helps it is that Lawrence promises to help Temeraire gain this independence and freedom for the dragons that they experience in China. And then in the whole, how Temeraire, how he likes his food, also in a way plays into the differences. When they go to Turkey, when they go to Istanbul, and when they're in Prussia, the dragons do not. Some of the dragons he's met are a little more feral, and some of them, and a lot of them are more obedient. Than in Prussia, the dragons are much more obedient and are cool with their situation and don't really care. It's like they don't know what they're missing, kind of thing. And even with the way they eat food, they think it's weak and domesticates Temeraire too much to like his food. More so in Prussia than in Istanbul. The way he likes his food, he's too picky and he should be this way and this way. And so it's very interesting to see these different types of dragons and different cultures, and to see how they treat dragons differently in each culture. And I hope the author I hope Naomi Novik continues to expand on that throughout the rest of the series. We also, it was also there weren't a lot of new major characters. I mean, there were new characters, but not anyone major, because of course we meet the people of Istanbul, the Turkish people. There is a guide that Lawrence is a little suspicious of and doesn't trust. and their relationship is a little shaky, but they need him, they need his help, and he understands things that they don't about the different cultures, especially in Istanbul. And I also and then once again we continue this beautiful relationship between Temeraire and Lawrence. It's a very sweet relationship, and it's very fun, and and like I said, there is a bit of a struggle, more so in the second book than in this one. But like Lawrence is very conflicted because he knows that it won't be easy for them to. He believes in Temeraire's cause, but it won't be easy to convert everybody else, because it's been this way for dragons for so long, and it's hard when they're to change people. Oh, you can't just change them overnight, especially if it changes the way they think about things and about their society. So he's trying to explain that to Temeraire, and Temeraire this really bothers him, but he's also he accepts it at the same time, because he knows Lawrence is right. But they still are very loyal to each other, and they still care about each other, and they still respect each other. And it's a very endearing relationship to follow. Now, there's also, if you were bored by the second book, the third one is a little more engaging, exciting, and thrilling, because it has a lot more battle scenes. And like I said, there's an old friend that they meet in when they get to Prussia. So it provides a more interesting conflict and dynamic. And, back to the different types of dragons we encounter, it also, like, the differences between these dragons and Temeraire also provides a very interesting dynamic. Because all the dragons think very differently from Temeraire, and some of them don't like and don't agree with the way that Temeraire thinks. And some of them are willing to listen to him. And he even tries to suggest these ideas of draconian independence. And of course, their soldiers don't really like that. And of course, Lawrence is like, okay, we are in the middle of a war. I mean, I know you want to fight for your cause, and I agree with your cause, but we are in the middle of a war, and it's too important that we, keep the relationship between the humans and the dragons in check, because we need each other right now. There's a lot more interesting philosophical and moral dilemmas in this one. It's first brought up in the second one, Emperor Jade. I can't remember what the second one is called. Let me see. Let me look at the book. The book, Throne of Jade. That's what it's called. Throne of Jade. That's the second one. It's first established in the second book, and then it's in this book as well. The differences are in this book as well. But through it all, Temeraire and Lawrence stay loyal to each other, and they still care about each other. Although there is a little bit of that, feelings of guilt and jealousy with, how Temeraire misses China, misses how dragons are treated in China, and doesn't understand how, why it has to be this way, and they can't be treated, why it's going to take so long for them to get their independence. There's also, so what else can I talk about? The writing is good, not wow or anything, but still very enjoyable, easy to read. It does have a little bit of that very classic feel to it, but it's written for a modern audience. It has, I guess, the best thing to compare it to is a lot of the historical romances, and the way those are written, because I actually have read a couple of those. And just with the writing style and everything, it feels old-fashioned, but at the same time it's not hard for a modern reader to enjoy and appreciate. And I also like Sam from Thoughts of Times. I can't speak for how accurate this is because I like history. It's one of my favorite subjects, but I don't know a lot about this particular time period. The Napoleonic Wars. We didn't really learn. I don't remember learning a lot about it. I feel like we learned more about American history than European history, which is a little disappointing because I enjoy European history, especially even if it's told in a fictional context. But I do believe that Naomi Novik did her research, so I'm gonna take her word for it that it's accurate. You can tell me if I'm wrong or not. But so the only difference, of course, is that we have dragons in this war, which I think is a cool concept. The idea of dragons during the Napoleonic War. We have, there's always the medieval fantasies because they have Arthurian legends and stuff like that. And in biblical times there were there are people now I'm not calling this magic or not, but some people that don't believe, that are not Christian, could argue that that kind of the Bible is fantasy in a way. So I want to see more of this kind of time period, or the 20th century, where there is magic involved. I like that concept and the idea. Now, there's not really any magic in this one, but there are dragons in this one, obviously. But the idea of either having magical creatures, like dragons, or having magic people that use magic, like in Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell has they have that one's about magicians. And then, of course, you have your pirate stories with mermaids and stuff, and, people becoming immortal because of a cursed treasure. Pirates of the Caribbean, basically. So I definitely want to read more books like this, where there's some kind of magical or supernatural concept introduced into a world like this. That's why I liked the movie, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. I thought that was cool. I never read the book though, but I liked that. I liked the movie. Now I don't know how accurate the movie is, but and I also liked and I did like reading the book. I never saw the movie of this, but I did like the whole Pride and Prejudice and zombies, and I don't know how other people responded to it because some people might have found it offensive to Jane Austen, but I thought it was a really cool. I thought it was a cool idea, and I love the idea. Again, I like the idea of taking these kinds of people, these kinds of characters, and them having to deal with or being, part magic or magical creature being part of their lives, especially during a time when people weren't as superstitious and didn't believe in supernatural things. So this was a fun, like I said, a fun ride. It's a little bit more exciting than the second book, and I can't wait to read the fourth book when I get it, maybe for my birthday. So okay, if you guys so sorry, I lost my outro. Sorry, I got sidetracked. If you guys always like this video, be sure to give a thumbs up, click subscribe if you haven't already, and click the bell notification below to know when I post more videos. And I hope you're enjoying your reading, and I will talk to y'all later. Alright, bye!